Hello, fabulous Aries. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of May 2014. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. Well, last month, the month of April, ended with a very potent and powerful solar eclipse. It took place just as the month was ending, and that is the energy that you're carrying into this month. And that marks the beginning of a very important focus on financial matters for you. And that is going to be really for much of the month your major focus. And so as you start the month, you've got the energy of this very positively placed eclipse. I've been speaking about it as we've been going along week to week in the weekly horoscopes. And this eclipse is speaking with a lot of different power players in the sky. And for you, it is speaking to a part of the sky that has to do with finances. And so if, as the month begins, you haven't already received some positive financial news, you should very soon, within the next week or so of this month beginning. And so with this eclipse does bring the opportunity to earn more money. So this isn't necessarily the kind of money that just shows up or is insurance payouts or grants or loans or bursaries. That's actually happening in the middle of the month. And that is where your focus is going to go at that time. This is more about the money that you earn. And so when I see something like this, it does suggest, when I see this representing a powerful new beginning that for some of you might seem to come out of nowhere. And it also represents the start of a new chapter. It is indicative of either a pay raise that likely will come with some responsibility given how this eclipse is speaking with other power players. However, it is possible that it is a brand new job or a brand new company, but something about this role and stepping into it feels brand new. I do think that some of you out there are likely going to be very self-directed with this energy. And what I mean by that is it's very likely that some of you out there are going to say, you know what, I can't believe I didn't think about doing this before, and put yourself on a whole other financial path as a result and end up earning your money in a way that you never did before, a way that feels like it is more in line with a calling, a way that feels like this is something that I can actually do to create greater prosperity for myself, greater stability for myself as well. And also bring in more positive energy all around, not just an energy of finances, but an energy of abundance as well. Now, all of this is also about, I think about the fact that this is an eclipse taking place in an earth sign. And earth signs are very much about honoring the physical sphere. And as I was meditating on this for you, if you will, before I start to record these videos, I need to spend a little bit of time and think about, okay, what do I want to say? What basically do I want to get across? How do I think this sign is going to feel with this energy? And I do think that this energy for you is very much about an understanding that ultimately, whatever your state of finances is right now, the only way that you are going to experience improvement is by taking responsibility for where you are right now. And I was thinking about this idea how some people like to say, you're the only one who holds yourself back. Now, I do think that, yes, there are absolutely moments in life when that's true, and absolutely in some ways that that's true. And yet I also think that sometimes we're going full force in a direction that maybe isn't the best direction, maybe isn't a direction in line with a higher calling, maybe is a direction that we think is so inspired and so amazing, but actually is thinking small for the amazingness that the universe has planned for us. And so I do think that a part of being human and a part of our lessons here is learning that right balance between the two. Learning to trust your instincts and go with them as a message, if you will, as a part of your connection to the wisdom that is a part of everyone and everything. And also differentiating that from your fears and seeing how maybe it's fear sometimes that guides you. And sometimes also, I will say this, sometimes also what seems delusional, what seems like we're going way out of the way is actually a part of the path that will make the way a lot more richer. Having said all that, you are being brought into alignment with a higher vision for your income, for your finances, for this point in your life. The universe is attempting to help you to step forward, help you to make a leap forward in the direction of greater prosperity. Now, how much you're able to actually go with that flow and change, how big that change is going to depend largely on how far off track you've gotten, how much you have all the way along been listening to your instincts, how much you haven't. So if you've been a person who's been listening to your instincts a lot, has been sort of being open, at the same time trusting yourself, going with it, also self-discovery, self-examination, looking at yourself to see where it is maybe that you are going from a place of actually being true to a higher calling as opposed to some other motivations, and where it is that you have been actively involved in attempting to put your ego aside, to bring yourself into alignment with a higher vision. You are going to find this a time of tremendous reward, of tremendous gain, and tremendous prosperity as well. Where it is maybe you haven't been doing those things, then you might feel a little bit of a shakeup, but very quickly you are going to see the benefits. And so that's the energy you're starting off the month with. By the time we get you to the middle of the month, the energy is more stable, it's more secure, and there's also an element of seriousness. And so what's happening in the middle of the month is a full moon is taking place, and this has to do with a part of the sky, finances, that have to do with really money that you get from loans, bursaries, grants, insurance payouts, that type of thing. So the type of money I mentioned at the beginning, your focus starts to shift towards being resourceful, towards attracting the resources you need. And ultimately, this is about healing your relationship with money and your own sense of worth on a very deep kind of energetic level. And when I look at what's taking place for you in the middle of the month, so at the beginning of the month, there's some sort of boost that takes place, some opportunity to start fresh in finances takes place for you. The middle of the month, it becomes, am I worthy of this? What funding do I need? Is this actually what I'm going for? Some really deep questions you start asking yourself. And at the same time, the answers do lead you to greater stability. This is also a configuration. If there has been any money due to you, this is also a time when you may experience tax refunds and things like that, that may end up being better than you anticipated, or fair in a stable kind of way that is, when I say fair, sometimes it doesn't necessarily correlate with better, but I actually think in this situation it does. And so if you can trust that ultimately this month, one of the larger lessons of this month, I use the weeklies to talk about some of the more immediate lessons we may go through, but the larger lessons this month have to do around worth, they have to do around money, finances, your beliefs about money, your beliefs about what you're giving to the world and what you're getting in return. If you allow yourself to go through that process on every level, you are going to find yourself being led towards greater and greater abundance, finding you in every area of life and from many different ways. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.